Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Today what we're going to do is we're going to learn a little bit, and this might be a semi-lengthy video. Obviously I will leave timestamps down below. You guys can click anywhere in this video that you want to go to and from or what have you. So let's talk about wire mold. So the main purpose of wire mold is, there's several reasons. Now you can put conduit on the wall. A lot of people do it, but in a setting like, let's say, an office where either you don't want to add conduit or you don't feel comfortable running conduit or whatever the case may be. Some people don't like the way it looks on open walls. Completely understand, especially in an office setting or somewhere where people just don't want to run conduit. So I bought this right here. This is Wiremold 500. Now they make two different styles of wire mold. This is the 500 series, you guys can see. 500 right on it. They make 700. Now, what's the difference between the two? Well, the 500 is this thick right here, and the 700 is double thickness, basically. Not exactly double, so don't call me out on it, but you can pretty much run a lot more wiring if you need to. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to basically show you, start out how to cut it, and then we're going to show you how to mount it on the wall, or mount it on this 2x4 here. And then I'm going to show you guys how to add fittings to it, and the box, yada, yada, yada. So, like I said, there will be timestamps down below. If you guys, you already know how to mount it, but you don't know how to put a fitting on, so you can just check that and go from there. All right, now, let's first talk about the most important thing, how to cut this thing. Because, honestly, cutting wire mold with a hacksaw just sucks, plain and simple. The best thing to cut wire mold with is a portaband, plain and simple. Now you can cut it with a hacksaw, I've done it, but it does suck. And I'm going to show you guys basically how to cut it and how to make sure that your ends are not jagged, because after you cut it, it's going to leave a little mark on there where if you pull your wires through, it's going to scuff all your insulation off, and that is something that you definitely do not want. So we're going to go ahead and get my portaband out real quick. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to show you guys how to fix it, and then we're going to talk about how to clean the ends of it real quick, get it all nice and presentable for wire per se. All right, like I mentioned, the best way to cut this is with the portaband. Now this handy portaband right here is, I've done a review on this, guys. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link right here. This portaband right here is a life saver. Let me tell you. This thing, I mean, it is what it is. It's a lifesaver. So you'll just take your portaband here and you'll just cut it. And that's all there is to it. Now for the video purposes, I'm just going to work with a very small piece. Now you want to make sure, this is important, that when you cut with the portaband that you keep both of your cuts pretty, level. You don't want to make them where it's, off center too much, because you will see that. So definitely take your time when you're cutting the wire mold. Make sure you get it straight, because that, like I said, that is important. Now, you definitely want to have a good file, and I'm going to recommend a couple things. So a lot of people always have one of these, which is just like a Leatherman or a Gerber or what have you. But some people have these, and you can take a chainsaw file, which is just the same thing, or you can use one of these, or you can use one of these. So I recommend, we're going to use one of these because a lot of people already have this. All right, we're going to get the file out. We're just going to file it. So we'll just basically file. Now you want to get on the inside also, so just want to get the high ends off. Make sure that you clean it good enough so you can run your finger under there and not get cut. Same goes with this piece right here. This piece is what is on the inside. This is what goes up against the wall. So you want to make sure that both pieces are filed. I mean, I can literally run my finger, no problems. So with that being said, you're ready for the next step. Now, how do you attach this to a box? Well, that is very, very easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a box. Now, they make different boxes. I'm going to show you a few different ones. I'm going to show you a deep box. Now they make a shallow box, they make a round box, they make a double gang. I do have a shallow box and I do have a deep box. You guys can see the difference. There's quite a bit of difference. I'm going to open these up real quick and show you. There is quite a bit of difference. I will leave all links to everything that I'm using down below in my Amazon store, guys. If you guys are interested in checking these prices out, seeing if this is the route that you want to go, definitely check my store out. If you buy from my store, it will not cost you any more than it will cost if you were to order it. It helps my channel out, and I can keep doing these videos for you guys. This is what it looks like when you open it up. You definitely don't want to lose this little screws that come with it, because that is what holds your plate to your box. So basically what you have, you would mount this on the wall, brick wall, 2x4, whatever, and you would put this right over top. All right, just like so. So this is what you got right here. If you look closely here, you can see two different, basically perforated edges, or perforated tabs, I should say. Basically what you need to do is, for 500, you would break out the first one. So we're going to break out the first one. So you take your pliers, and you can use your Gerber or whatever you have. You'll just basically rock it back and forth real easy, because you don't want to screw up the whole entire box. So just be easy with it. It'll come out. All right, just come out like that. Now, the first little tab we take out, see there's another one up there. That's for 500. That's what I'm taking out, because that's what we have. If you had the 700, you would take out both of them. Basically what's going to happen is, this is going to line straight up in here like this when it's all said and done. So you can see it's pretty flush. So now what we're going to do is, I'm going to mount this on the wall, and I'm going to show you, on this 2x4 real quick, I'm going to show you guys exactly how this goes. Now, it all depends on, if you've got concrete or 2x4s. I'm just going to use drywall screws on here. You can use whatever screws you have. I'm not telling you guys, because some people have a problem with putting drywall screws in 2x4s. I don't know why electricians want to argue about that, but I'm putting drywall screws right there to hold this box on the wall. If you had a block, brick, or whatever, I would definitely use Tapcons or the anchor kits. So without further ado, let me put this on the wall and show you guys exactly how to do it. As you can see, I've mounted this onto the wall now. I just use drywall screws. Now, it's probably not 100% level, but this is just for video purpose. You always want to make sure that you put a level. And I recommend putting it on the sides of your box. What I told you about the screws, you need to make sure you keep them, because this is an important step, because if you don't have these screws, you are pretty much screwed. So basically, this plate right here, it has these little, I'm going to call them, for lack of better terms, tits. And what happens is, this piece of wire mold right here, it basically, what it does is it sits just like this, and what happens is you put it on top. That's why you want to make this as level as possible, because you see how it's kind of rocking in there? Well, what you still have to do is you have to take a pair of Kleins or a hammer, and you have to tap it on there, because it will go up on there and it will kind of lock itself in. And that is the next step before we put the box cover on, right? So, like I said, this lip right here, it'll go right under this. So this will be separating your box from your lip. So literally just like this. When you get done, that's what's going to look like underneath. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to put this on real quick, and then we'll put the cover on. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to make sure that it is like so. And I'm going to move the camera back a little bit and tap it into place and show you guys. Obviously you would have a longer piece, but this is just for video purposes. So you would just tap it on there, and there you go. Now see, with it being level, you have a little play. You can kind of move it just a little bit, but anyway, we're gonna pretend like that's 100% level, because, well, I cut it so it probably is. Not really, but What we did, remember, we knocked out the 500, so all we're gonna do is we're gonna put this right on. We're going to put the screws in. Now this is the tricky part. Especially on deeper boxes, you want to kind of get it started a little bit. And that, my friends, is a completed box. Now, we've got the box mounted. We need to talk about supporting this, because you see it's just free floating. Now obviously this is a short piece, but let's talk about some supports that you have. Now I have a longer piece, obviously the piece I cut off. I'm gonna put that on here. We're gonna talk about some supports and how to make the supports work for your specific setup. There are many different types of supports. This is basically a different combo pack, if you will. So we're gonna open it up. Like I said, everything will be down in my description. If you guys are interested in purchasing through my Amazon store, it would help me, believe me. We're gonna go through each and every one of these parts and we're gonna talk about what they are and how to use them. And then I'm gonna show you basically what some of this looks like when you put it on the wall. Now let's start out with the hidden hangers, because I think the hidden hangers look the best. Now, I have seen people put hidden hangers on and they don't put them on correctly, or they put them too close and the wall is wavy and they pop off. So you've got to be very cautious. Now, there's two ways to put these on. Now, the way to put it on the wood, which I'm going to show you here in just a second, I'm going to take all this back off. I'm going to show you how to mount these, put them on, and then I'm going to show you how to take them off. So if you ever need to take it back off, you know, you're not ripping your wire mold all to crap, and then your wire mold's just useless at that point. But let me show you how to mount these real quick, put them on the wall, and we will go from there. With your box, remember now we had this cover on here, right? We had this on here before, so we took it off, put the screws back in there, because if you do not, chances of losing your screws are pretty damn near 100%. At least, in my opinion, it is. Now, let's pretend this is a big wall. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna have to measure. So we know that the center of this is 1 3/4, all right? So we'll come down here to 1 3/4 and we'll put a mark. You can put a mark up here also. We'll just do that for giggles. All right, now we got 2 marks. Now what we have to do is to get a straight edge. You can use your wire mold because supposedly it's straight, right? And you can draw a line, because it's going to be hidden with your wire mold. Now you don't have to draw a line, but I just did for my own purposes. Now what you'll do is you'll take the hidden hanger and you can basically put it anywhere on this line that you drew with your pencil, right? Because if you want it right there, right there, right there, anywhere you want. So we'll say we'll put it right there. Now that is the center of your knockout, all the way to infinity, because you drew your line as far as you wanted to. So I'm just going to put 1 up here just for, you know, for these purposes. Now, let me get a drywall screw, put it in here, and I'm going to tell you there's 2 ways that I like to put these on the wall. Easy way, and then if you don't have what I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you a different way. So we'll go ahead, like I said, hey, that rhymes, and we'll put the screw right on the center of that line. Boom. Now, we are completely in line with your box. So when you put your wire mold up in here, it'll go right in your box with no problem. So the best way to mount this onto your hidden hanger is with a rubber mallet. Now I'm going to show you that way. I'm going to show you, we're going to talk about other ways, but I'm going to show you another way that you probably already have that you can use. But we're going to use this temporarily and show you guys exactly how to put it on. I'm gonna bring the camera up a little closer so you guys can see. So you gotta put it back in your box, which you already know how to do that. So what you'll do is you'll hold right above it, like right here, but you don't want to hit your thumb, obviously, right? Because that'd be terrible. So all you'll do is you'll take your hammer and there it is. It's on there. Now, you don't see any hangers, and it is completely, I mean, it's not coming off. All right, so let's talk about if you don't have a rubber mallet. This is your next best friend. Now, I'm gonna tell you, when you use these are Kleins, obviously. You want to make sure that you hold them tight, because if you hold them down in here, chances are when you hit it, they're going to bounce back up and open up, and you're going to pinch your hand or whatever, and that's going to hurt like hell. So I always make sure, if I use my Kleins, put my thumb close to the edge of the insulation on both of them. That way I have a good firm grip. Now let me show you. I don't recommend this. I would much rather, if you're going to spend the money on wire mold, just go ahead and get your own mallet. They're pretty cheap. You can go to Harbor Freight or on Amazon, which I'll leave a link down for all that too. Basically what you want to do, if you have your Kleins, all you have to do is make sure you hit them with the little hump part of it. You just, boom, and look, bah, no pinching. Now let's say you're not, it's not right, and you want to make sure, you want to be able to get this back off without screwing it up. So basically, if you're using the hidden hanger, what I would do is I would grab down low and kind of just shake it a little bit, and it'll come right out. That's the easiest way. You can put a screwdriver back in there and back it out, but I recommend a wide blade screwdriver. That way you're not, you know, bowing it up in here anywhere. And those are called hidden hangers. Nothing to it. Basically, that's what you do. You draw your line, you measure from your center here. Or let's say you're on a 2x4 and you don't really know, let's say this 2x4 is all chopped up. Well, all you have to do is take your level, which I don't have a level here right now, but if you take a level, you would level this piece up till you get it right in the center and then draw your line down the side of it. So it's just that easy, guys. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. Now, they make a different kind of strap also. We call these 2-hole straps. I'm sure there's a different name for it, but this is what we call them, 2-hole straps, because it has 2 holes. And basically what it does is the same thing, but this would go over this. Basically what you'd have is you would have it like this, and then you would just put 2 screws right there. Now that honestly would look like, you know, poop on a white rag, but honestly, if that's what you got to use because you can't figure out how to use the other ones, or you don't want to use the other ones, because these are super, super, super quick. You just put them on, zip, zip, and go on. Basically, you put it on, put your level down below it, level it up, zip, zip, and you walk away and you're done. So these are the easy way. Are they the best looking? Absolutely not, but you know, if you don't want to use the hidden hangers, then use these. These are definitely more secure. Hands down, they're definitely more secure because they're on the outside and they're not going to go anywhere until you take the screws out of it. All right, let's talk about for a second how you mount 2 pieces of wire mold together. Now, the easiest way to do it, or really the correct way to do it, is you need one of these right here. It comes on your wire mold. Of course, you can buy extra ones. Basically, what you do is you take it and you slide it into your wire mold like so. So basically, here's what you've got. You're gonna, I'm trying to get the best angle so you guys can see. Basically, you just push it in, 1/2 and 2. Put the other piece on, like so. Now, before you do those 2 together, you have to take and put your bushing in, which looks like this. Because I'll leave the kit down below. I almost said downstairs. You just slide it right in. So you just slide in. All right, just like that. So now you got a bushing in there. Put them on both ends. Now I left the other piece out of this, so it's just easier for me to work. It keeps falling out anyway, so you'll get the picture though, trust me. All right, together, like so. Okay, and then you take your cover. Now they make a bigger cover than this, but this is the cover that comes with this little kit, and basically it just goes over top that. Just like that. And then you can keep on going. So you can go as far as you need to, as long as you need to, and that's basically it. Now I do prefer the longer one only because it has more real estate, and personally I think that that's better. It gives more support. I mean, obviously if you put your couplings, your hidden hangers or whatever you got, if you're going to use hidden hangers, I would put a strap, like if this was your coupling, which it is, I would put a strap, you know, somewhere right in here on both sides. That way you've got the maximum support. Now if you're going to use the 2 holes, you can put it right up against it. So that's it on the couplings and how to join 2 pieces together. Next thing we're going to talk about is how to put basically a 90 on this, and what kind of 90 do you need. So if you were coming on this wall right here, let's pretend there's no box right there, and you wanted to come up this wall and then turn that way. So basically what you'll need is this right here. This is called a flat elbow. Basically what you do, and I'm going to open it up here in a second and show you guys. Basically what we'll do is we'll put it on there and you can turn the corner and just keep on going. I'm going to show you how easy this one is to put on. All right, so when you get these out of the pack, basically what it is, it's 2 pieces. Now, with any of this wire mold, it's probably a good idea to wear gloves because this stuff is kind of sharp a little bit. But basically what you got is you got 2 pieces. You have your inside piece and then your cover basically. So same principle applies. This right here goes up into your wire mold, which I'm going to show you in a second. And then when you put your wire on here, it's got a little lip right here where the wire goes on this side of the connector, so the wire stays safe. It doesn't, you know, screw anything up. Let me show you how to put this in real quick. Super, super, super easy. So basically, you want to make sure you're going the right way. It goes in the same way as your other connectors behind this metal sleeve. You just push it in. All right. And just like that, that's it. And then you would take your other piece and just keep on running with it, just like so. So basically what you have is a 90. You just put this on, you tap it on with your hammer, and you're ready to go. You can use your clines, that easy. That is called a flat elbow because you're gonna stay flat against the wall. Now let's say you're going into a ceiling, so you're gonna be coming up and you wanna go this way. Well, how do you do that? So you need to come up and go this way. Well, that flat elbow is not gonna get it. So what we have here is called an inside elbow. And like I said, everything will be down below in the description. It just comes apart. And what happens is, same deal. It goes right back into your fitting, like so. So it fits in behind that channel, as you guys can see. All right. You take your other piece that's gonna go flat on the ceiling and you just put it in. And then, what you do next, you take your other piece, you basically, I'm not gonna put it on there because these are hard to get off. Basically, when it's on the wall, you just tap it right here, tap it right there, boom, it snaps right into place. That easy. Okay, so let's say you're going up the wall, like so, going up the wall, right? And you need to go this way and this way, but you want to keep it all wire molded. How do you do that? They make a fitting called a T fitting. It looks like this. I'm going to open it and show you. The same thing applies. It's a two-piece fitting. You just take it apart, like so. Put it in behind your metal sleeve. Just put it on. Tap it in. You put it on like that. You'll put this cover on. And then you have the other piece coming out. So you have three basically ways going. You can come up, bring your power in, then you can branch off both ways. So this is another fitting. I don't have another piece to cut already, so, but you can get the picture. If you have another piece coming this way, it's a T, so that's what it looks like, right? All right, and last but not least, on the boxes that I have, this is the round box. This is good for a ceiling fan. This box is rated for up to 50 pounds of light, fixture, fan, whatever. So it's good for 50 pounds. So you always want to make sure that you know how much your light weighs, how much your fan weighs, because that is important, believe me. All right, there's a few more things we're going to talk about, but not in this video. So we're going to talk about how to transition a piece of MC, from MC down to wire mold, flex to wire mold. We're going to figure out how to do all of that on the next video. So I hope this was informative. There's timestamps. Check it out. It's super easy, guys. I'm going to just tell you my personal opinion on wire mold. I hate it. It sucks. It looks good, but I hate messing with it. When it's all said and done, it does look very, very good. Now, another video will be how do we bend this? Because you can actually put offsets on this. They make a wire mold bender, which I do not have, but I'm going to show you guys how to bend it without a wire mold bender. So you gotta have to stick around. I hope this was informative. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me if you want to see anything else with wire mold. I plan on doing the plastic wire mold, which I prefer a little bit more because it's so much easier to work with than this metal. But this metal is very durable. I mean, once it's on the wall, I mean, you really gotta screw it up to short anything out or anything. It's very extremely durable after it's all installed. And if you take your time and do it right, it looks really, really good, like I mentioned. All right, everything will be down below in the links. All the stuff I use, the rubber mallet, the clines, the screwdrivers, the drill, all that is down below. I have an Amazon store. That's probably where I'm going to link everything instead of putting everything individually. There are some stuff individually linked. You guys can check it out. Also, make sure you check out my store. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you go to Facebook, join my group. There's some discussions going on there. Do interact a lot if anybody asks me any questions. So if you have anything, feel free to ask me. Also, join my Patreon if you're interested. So like I said, make sure that you like and subscribe. God bless, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great day, guys.